And I said, since life and death are not compatible, the living and the dead do not keep company. When one dies, you put him away from you immediately. No matter how much you love your dead loved one, when that loved one is dead, you don't sleep next to him. You get up out the bed and say, take him away. Where do you want him put? Anywhere. Just get him out of here. Because I'm alive. And living people want to keep company with the living. This is why nobody wants the friendship of the black man and woman of America, because you are dead and living, live, active people who are engaged in the business of building and maintaining and perpetuating a nation. Have no time for foolish people who have nothing to do but pop their fingers and party and boogie and get on down when you should be getting up. When you see that which is dead, the strange sense is that just a few minutes ago, it was alive, you know. It could see and hear and laugh. And now you're looking at just the shell of what once was. And it can't stay among you like that. You have to bury it. As much as you love it, you don't love its form. You love the spirit that emanated through and from that form. But when the spirit is absent, the form begins to decay, and it must be buried, lest if you stay in the room with it, it will kill you, because it is diseased. Is that right? When the scripture talks about people being dead, that is one heck of a description that the prophets gave to the human condition, when the human is not human anymore. We just have the form of a human being, but the thing that makes us that is actually dead. And when the essence of us is dead, then there is no spirit or energy coming from the nature of us to do in accord with our nature. So when the nature of a thing is dead, the thing may still be alive, but it is no longer living. For instance, how many of you have ever seen a person insane? Have you ever seen someone you know that just bugs out?
Yes, sir.
That's a frightening experience. Now they got faculties, you know. If you burn them, they'll say, ouch, you know, but they're no longer who you knew them to be. They are mentally gone, deranged. So the power of their being goes to satisfy the madness of their minds. That's a terrible condition. The person, for all intents and purposes, is dead. You do not bury them in the ground, but you put them away so that you don't have to see that unless you go to visit. Man, that's pretty rough.
Yes, sir.
Well, brothers, when you look at yourself, when you look at black people, you're looking at the form of a great human being that is dead. The real power of us as a people is not there. We are not what we once were. So everybody that sees us wants to put us away.
Come on.
So they lock you up in the ghetto, what they call the ghetto. They don't want you to come in their neighborhood.
That's right.
Because you represent death. Here come the niggas. There go the neighborhood. Why? Because death is decomposition, disintegration. And when people who are dead come along, they act that way. So here now, you are dead in the power of your being. You are not as dead as he is. But you are suffering, but you are not in his condition. He's in terrible shape. You're in bad shape. But he is in worse shape. So when God says he is the resurrector, that means that as impossible as it is to bring a dead bird, a dead dog, a dead loved one back, that's how impossible it appeared to the prophets to bring us back. But yet Allah is able to put the truth to us in such a way where he contacts the very nature of us and starts emanating life from it, and we begin to breathe again like righteous people. This is what's happening to you now. You are being revived. Jesus says the hour will come, and now is, when the dead, the dead are going to hear. That's interesting. The dead, listen to this, are going to hear. You know dead folk don't hear. Yes, sir. Well, what dead are going to hear? The voice. Let me put that up here. The voice. The voice of who? The Son of God. And when they hear the voice of the Son of God, those that hear shall live. Those that hear shall live. Yes, sir. Because Jesus says, the Son of God has life in himself, for the Father has life in him. And he's put life in the Son. He says, don't marvel at this, for the time is coming when all that are in the graves shall hear and shall come forward. Now we've got another term here, grave. Better put that in. All that are in their grave shall hear the voice of the Son of God. Those that are in the grave, of course, are dead. The Son of God got life, but the Son of God comes at the proper hour, and the hour that the Son of God appears is in when? The last days of the world of evil. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there now. Take your time.